Okay, hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess, and this is Nigel. And we are giving Mad Stank Eye for today's video, which is books I would recommend to my enemies. Now, I was inspired to make this video from Cody, who is on Instagram, and once in her stories, she was like, I would recommend this book to my enemy. And I was like, ooh, that's a great idea. So I have like either 7 or 8 books, and I have some of these people are real life people that I've met in my life, and some are just made up scenarios of general people that I've heard of, or maybe encountered on the internet, but not in real life, and why they're shitty and why I would recommend the shitty book to them. So I hope this is fun. This is supposed to be fun and funny, and yeah, you enjoy. Okay. Are you giving them a little snaggle too? Are you giving them a little snaggle too? Oh my goodness, my angel. Okay, now, see now? He's on the shirt. That's good enough for y'all, right? Okay, let's start. I don't think I own any of these books, because why would I own them if I would recommend them to my enemies? Come on. Okay, so this first one is a hypothetical person. Have I probably come across them at some point in my life? Yes, but it's for that dude bro who only reads science fiction and always talks about the classics and looks down on you if you read young adult, if you read new science fiction, because it's not real science fiction, and he's really just that alpha hole. But yeah, basically an alpha male, but not in like a really protective, cute romance way, right? Wants a quality science fiction book like the classics. You know what I would recommend to him? Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, because the book is a mess. He would be mad at the lack of research into language and how one would learn a language and teach a language to someone who was not familiar with the basic construct, the basic formulation of language. He might actually find it funny because I'm specifically talking about like a white dude, bro, and Andy Weir is a white dude and has just such basic like teenage boy humor, so you might actually find it funny. But the plot of the story, the main character, how the story turns out, the resolution, and that there's a woman in the book who basically has power over the whole world to just make choices like that on a whim. She can just commandeer an Air Force jet to fly someone from the States over to China. Oh, he would be livid. He'd be like, this is unrealistic. We would never put a woman in charge. And so that's why I would recommend that book to him. Fuck off, Chad. If your name is Chad, I'm so sorry. I'm sure you're not like that. The next is also, we all know this girl, right? She is not like other girls. She doesn't have any friends that are girls because girls are so much drama, so she only hangs out with guys. She thinks she's better. She's like, I'm kind of girly, but I like all the things that guys like. I like sports, and I like epic fantasy written by men. I don't want to like girly stuff, all that new woke stuff, right? We know this. Everyone knows a bitch like this. And so she wants a really great epic fantasy, written by a man, of course, because they know exactly what they're doing. She wants well-written characters that she can fall in love with. She wouldn't mind if it's grimdark, but not too dark. Just a quintessential fantasy story written by a white man, because that is the standard and it can't be beaten. And you know what I would tell this hoe? I would say, why don't you read Prince of Thorns by Mark Lawrence? Because it's trash. Quality characters. The lead character is his name George, is literally a piece of shit. And then some people like to argue, well, it's grimdark. Yeah, you can have grimdark books with good characters, and I don't mean like morally good or bad, like well written, and they have some redeemable. Like there's morally gray people, and then there's just shit people, and George is just shit, and he just rapes women, and it's great because he's so grim dark, and the book is just terrible. I don't actually remember that much about the book besides I hated the main character and I found the story wildly basic. And for someone who thinks she's so amazing because she doesn't hang out with girls and wants quality like the classics, have this garbage, girl. Have at it, bitch. This next one is specific to an old roommate I had. She was weird. And I say weird because aren't we all weird? But she was like really weird and not in a nice way. And she very much was like, I am Slytherin personified. Like everything she had was a Slytherin merchandise. And she really lived that in her daily life. She was a Slytherin like Draco Malfoy, but not rich, just like a piece of shit, right? She had this dog that was the worst. It smelled, it used to bite people all the time. And she just really thought she was just like, I don't know, almost like the I'm so quirky, that's my entire personality trait. But it's like being Slytherin was her whole like personality, her entire personality. And even as a lover of Harry Potter, I've never been like, that's not my first thing I say to people or would say to people if I had introduced myself. Like, it's weird. And she was a terrible roommate. She didn't clean up after her dog. It was not a great situation. And so she loved fantasy, obviously, and she would want a really good fantasy, maybe sci fantasy that has really distinct characters, a really intriguing plot, a unique story. And did I say distinct? Because not just great, distinct characters. So there's multiple characters in the story, but they all have their own personality. You know them from when you just start reading their POV. You know who this person is. Like characters that you will not forget about for a long time, and a story that really grips you, pulls you in. The idea of the story and then the execution is chef's kiss. You know what I would recommend to this hoe? If I remembered her name, I would tell you. I don't even remember her name. I just remember her. I remember what she looked like though. I would say read The Bone Orchard by whoever is by. I don't even remember who is by because that book's a mess. You have an interesting premise, right? About like these basically bone wraiths that this one lady makes, but there's so many and they're not very distinct. I'm like, oh, who is this? Shame? No, it's Justice. Who is this? Justice? No, it's Sorrow. I don't even remember their names or what they were called because they were just all the same. They were like all of them and then the one who made them and then like other people. Like nothing was distinct. The premise was cool and then it just like meh. Like at the end I was like, that's it? It just wasn't giving, honey. The resolution, please. So she'd be pissed. Like, what is this? I don't even remember any characters' names. I didn't find any new favorite characters, and this execution was shit. And he'd be like, yeah, that's what you deserve, you raggedy bitch. I hope today that she learned to wash her dog and clean up after herself, and she actually found other things to define her as a person. But yeah, I hope she reads The Bone Orchard and hates it. So this is another generic person, but they like all kinds of books. They really like YA, really well written stories, again, really strong characters, very well crafted, strong, beautiful language, like in the book, like it's beautifully written, and they want the vibes, but they also want an intriguing story. Like the characters are important, the atmosphere is important, but they need an intriguing story. You tease them with something at the beginning and they get to the end and the payoff is huge and it is worth it and it is epic. And they were like, wow, those 4 books, it was worth all of my time to get here. Now I'm referencing specifically one book that I think I hated the most. Actually, we can talk about the series. But I would say read I don't even know what it's called, the Raven Boy series by Maggie Stiefvater. I wrote down Lily Blue, Blue Lily, or Blue Lily, Lily Blue, which is one of the worst titles ever for this person because, like again, they want intelligent, thoughtful characters. Intelligent is key. And they want a strong plot, okay? And that's what you will not get in the Raven Boys. You will not get a strong plot. It will be a setup in the first book and you're like, meh, you know, this is okay, but I'm so intrigued by this plot you enticed me with in the beginning. The ending of this book, I'm like, yes, I need to read the next one, and then it'll be mediocre, and then it'll be mediocre, and then you'll get to the 4th book and you're like, I better get a fucking resolution, and then the resolution is fucking trash. You're like, why did I waste my time? Literally, this could have been such a cool premise. You had me going this whole time only for it to collapse fall apart, disintegrate in the end, and now I'm pissed. And so this is for that raggedy bitch who thinks that I will change my mind about having children. So this is literally a lot of people collectively. Oh, you'll change your mind. To her, to them, to whomstever falls under that of you'll change your mind about having children. And you want a book like that, a good book, read this series and be miserable. I hope you read the whole thing thinking that you're gonna get to book 4 and the payoff will be worth it, because it won't be. And I will just fucking cackle over here with my fur children and not human ones. And you'll be sad. Kick rocks, bitch. We have a few more. So, you know, people who read mystery and thrillers, and you read a book and you review it and you're like, oh my God, I didn't see it coming. The end was out of nowhere. It was, or not out of nowhere, it was such a good twist. If I go back and think about it, I can see the little pieces. They gave the hints. They gave us just enough. Oh, mwah, mwah. Excellent, excellent mystery, excellent thriller. 5 stars. They're like, I went like that because I just basically can solve anything. And if you're like that, fine. But like, I'm thinking of that person, but they're really pretentious and an asshole about it. Like, nothing can surprise me anymore. I wouldn't even enjoy that book. And so they're like, yeah, give me a mystery that can really throw me for a loop, that sets the scene, that's the perfect length, that gives you just little bits of hints and crumbs as you're going. And then when you get the reveal at the end, you're like, oh my gosh, like you thought it might have been that person, but you really weren't convinced because it just couldn't be that person, right? It want a really good mystery, and if you could throw a little paranormal in there, sure, but it doesn't have to be, okay? We need our main character to be smart and strong, not just like some bumbling buffoon. We don't want them to be an unreliable narrator, right? That's the kind of book they want. You know what I would say? Read Ninth House. Read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, because that shit is whack. It tries to be like 7 genres at once. Okay, maybe 3. It's like fantasy, mystery. Okay, maybe 2. Whatever. It was a mess. It was too long. This person wants a book that's perfect length. No, this is too long. You want crumbs? You want little hints as to who's going to be the whodunit? You won't get that. At the end, you'll be like, what? Huh? This person? Yeah, you want a nice setup? You want a smart, reliable character, main character? You sure won't get that with Galaxy Stern. So enjoy. I hope it's misery for you. And then when you get to the end, you're pissed because you didn't get any kind of crumb or hint as to the who did it. And then your favorite character hasn't been in the book for a while. And then on the last page, Leigh Bardugo writes a line in reference to that character. And that you're gonna have to read the second book if you want to figure out anything that happened with him. So enjoy. Ooh, that one got a little personal. So this person is, this person, a general person made up, they love the classics, right? But have found that, you know, maybe some of them haven't aged well. And not by their opinion, but by other people's opinions, because they still think all the classics are great. And so they want a classic that is maybe more modern. Doesn't necessarily have to be a modern classic, but still in modern times, has aged well, still has a relevant story, something that can apply to their life right now. They don't want it to be completely racist or sexist, because they're not that. They're not racist or sexist, right? These are good quality classic. And I would say, why don't you take a look at The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by who? Mark Twain? Is that him? Because that book, oh my God, hate so much inward, and for why. And you know why I would give this book to this person? Because they're like, I'm not racist. I think all lives matter. I think blue lives matter, but can't understand Black lives matter, right? I am pro-life, but only for you to give birth to the baby. I don't care what happens to the baby after that. I'm not racist. I have a black friend and he's also gay. So they are trying to be more woke, right? So they don't get judged by other people online or in their like book club group, or maybe, you know, whoever they're dealing with in their circle that's more progressive than them. And it's like, hey, maybe you shouldn't be reading so much of those problematic works. And they're like, whatever, okay, I'm gonna find a new one, but it's still gonna be a classic, but it's gonna be progressive, and I'm gonna show these woke lefties that they're wrong, right? And I would say, okay, read this one and take that to your book club. Share it with everybody, buy everybody a copy, and you all read it together out loud. Yeah, enjoy that. Enjoy that, and I hope you choke on your grapes that you're eating. And then you get a paper cut right here, and your charger breaks, and you can't charge your phone. 2 more. So this is for a person who wants dark academia written at its finest. They want a really fleshed out world. They really love when it's actually focused on the academics. So they want like specific classes. They want really great teachers, whether that's really like, you know, the good teachers, the bad teachers. They just want really distinct teachers. But they also think that Elon Musk really cares about free speech and frankly should run for president. For that person who wants a quality dark academia novel, I would say, why don't you have A Deadly Education, written by Naomi Novik? You said you wanted a thought out world, really fleshed out. Won't get that. You want like the courses and you want the book to dive into that and have really good like teachers or professors. You won't get that. You want characters you can really hate or love, and a really strong plot so you can, you know, get really invested and worried about your character if they're gonna make it through. You won't get that. I mean, I guess you'll kind of get a plot at like the 75% mark, but for the most part you'll just be wandering around with this raggedy main character. So I hope you enjoy that. Since you think Elon Musk really started from the bottom, now he's here. Tesla's the best car. He really cares about free speech. That's why he bought Twitter. And you are really just looking for a top tier dark academia novel. I hope you read A Deadly Education and you fucking hate it. Because it's not good. So have a good day. And by a good day, I mean have a shit day. Like you deserve. And last but not least, for another former roommate who loves romance, really loves a strong, independent woman who don't need no man, but she would like one, right? Like she's not out there actively pursuing someone. She's fine by herself, but if that right one came along, she'd be down, right? She's really confident in herself. She has vast array of hobbies. Her personality is more than I eat junk food. She also wants a man who is strong and protective, in touch with his emotions. Maybe not with everybody, but at least to her, and he's very much her protector. But this person was my old roommate, so she was raggedy and would party at all nights, all hours of the night, and didn't clean. I'm talking, I wake up in the morning to go to class at 7 a.m. and her and friends came back drunk the night before and got Taco Bell, and it's just all over the counter and on the floor. Just cheese and lettuce and sour cream. And yeah, just, you know, leave your dog with me. Cool. It's not my dog, but sure, I'll watch her. I'll make sure she gets some water and some food. I'll take care of that since you're just all gallivanting to who knows where. So you want a good romance novel? Read The Love Hypothesis, sweetie. Have fun with that. You want a strong, independent, confident woman? You will not find that with Olive. Is that her name? You will not find that. Because she's like, oh, wait, oh no. Her personality traits are, I'm poor and I eat vending machine food. That's it. I eat junk food. Oh, but I'm so skinny. I eat junk food. Those are her personality traits. Adam has no personality, no emotion. He's neither, it's supposed to be grumpy, but to me he just gives He just gives nothing. So if you want a man in touch with his emotions, big strong man, I will say, I guess he's kind of protective towards the end, but someone who's has layers, is like a parfait, if you will, complicated. That's not Adam. Adam is just, you know, he's all of his, oh my god, I had a Starbucks frap. That's my personality. So I hope you read The Love Hypothesis and you're miserable, especially at that awkward sex scene. But I hope you've grown up now and know how to clean up after yourself and actually take care of, you know, the responsibilities that you have, like your dog. I really hope that. Because it's been a while and I really hope you've outgrown your triflingness, but you still deserve to at least read this book and be miserable, even if you're a little better now. So I think that's it for my list today on books I would recommend to my enemies. Do I actually like, I don't think, I just was thinking of some of these people specifically when going over this list. Like, I don't talk to these people. I don't know where they are in life and I don't care. But, you know, some of these people did do me dirty, or these people in general on the internet piss me off. And so if they are like, if we had similar reading taste and they went into these novels thinking they were getting certain things, that they would absolutely be miserable and hate these books just like I did. So I hope you enjoyed my pettiness today. Obviously I don't like any of these books. I don't own any of these books. I will rebuke all of these, but that's it. So thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, stay blessed, hydrated, moisturized, and sunscreened, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.